How are you doing? You all right?
As the Labour Party looks to rebuild the red wall across our region, they need a solid foundation when it comes to housing.
It's absolutely got to be on the money.
Today, their leader visited a new housing development in York. But in this tourist hotspot, housing stock isn't the only problem. We're in beautiful sunny York. York has double as many second homes as it does rental properties. That's what's pushing up rents here, but your manifesto doesn't mention second homes. Are you failing to get to the root of the problem?
No, the root of the problem is building the houses that we need, 1.5 million. And the root of the problem is actually evidenced in this particular project here, because this is a project for 650 houses here in Outer York. From the submission of the plans to starting the build was 15 years of delay.
You've batted back Tory claims that you might increase council tax, but isn't council tax on second homes something that you should increase?
Look, we are not going into the election focusing on tax rises.
So no plans for further taxes on second homes?
We're going to flip that around and put growth as it is the centre of our manifesto, and we're going to roll up our sleeves and get on with that from day one.
Getting on the housing ladder is a huge priority for voters in this election. So it's no surprise that all the big parties are promising to build more of them. For Labour, it's 1.5 million more in their first 5 years in Parliament, the Tories 1.6 million and the Liberal Democrats 1.9 million. It's a bidding war that many might welcome, but some fear that those with deep pockets will get first dibs. What do you think of house prices in York?
High. I think because now it's more touristy.
On a sunny day in York, it's easy to see why that may be.
We're staying in a VRBO, but Airbnb, yes.
Lovely. And what do you think of the city so far?
We love it.
It's wonderful, honestly.
Are you staying in a hotel, Airbnb?
We're staying in a converted barn.
Airbnb says those who rent out their homes often need the extra income, and that prices are primarily driven by a shortage of house building. In Sheffield today, the Liberal Democrat leader took that into his own hands, building homes for the birds.
We want to give local authorities power to, for example, increase council tax on second homes. Second home owners can often provide a boost to a local economy, but where a local economy is overtaken by too many second home owners, that can push local people out of the housing market.
In their attempt to weed out the Tories and Labour, the Lib Dems plan to increase council tax on second homes by 500%. But the Conservative Housing Secretary defended his party's record.
We were the party that delivered 1 million new homes and the party that was responsible for a record number of first-time buyers. So we have a record of housing which, while not perfect, no government's got a perfect record. Not
perfect, but for the housing charity Shelter, not good enough either, as it warns all parties need to go even further to cement over the cracks in their plans.
So you can see why housing is such a big issue. Well, our political correspondent, Charanpreet Kaira, joins us live from the media room ahead of the TV election event in York. And Charanpreet, what do the other parties have to say about the housing issues?
So no suggestion there that she denies any involvement.
That's right, Ian. I'm in the media room, and I promise you this is where the real action happens tonight. You might be thinking about a certain football match, but I promise you this is much more exciting. As you heard in my report, there are some bold building plans from the major parties when it comes to housing. The Green Party have their own promise too. They want to build 150,000 new social homes a year if they get into power and spend £29 billion on home insulation in their first term. And Reform UK says it'll boost UK house building by cutting stamp duty to 0% for homes worth under 750,000.
And Charanpreet, what's the significance of tonight's head-to-head debate with the leaders?
Well, Ian, it comes at a difficult time for the Conservative Party. A number of figures in that party are currently being investigated for allegedly betting on the timing of the election. On top of that, a poll came out yesterday that had them on course for electoral oblivion. It even said that the Prime Minister could lose his constituency in North Yorkshire, which would be an incredibly shocking result. Of course, I will caveat that by saying it was just one poll. These things aren't crystal balls, and other polls did have different results. But You might notice that Rishi Sunak isn't campaigning much in our region. That's because he's defending seats in the south that traditionally would be seen as safe Tory seats. And that's caused some grumbles from red wall Tories who don't feel like they're getting the support they deserve. On the other hand, Sir Keir Starmer will be going into tonight looking at the poll lead and wanting to preserve that, to hold it close. And for Ed Davey, the Liberal Democrat leader, this is the first time that he's really had that opportunity to be on a level playing field with Rishi Sunak and Keir Starmer by standing alongside them in this debate. So for him, it's an opportunity to try and persuade voters in our region that the Lib Dems could make a comeback.